Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Kurt suite. This is my editing suite. I want to try something new here and do a bit of a video breakdown on a video that I just posted, the what's in my bag edit. Alright, let's get into Premiere and check out the video.
Diamonds on my wrist, they tripping. Came through tripping. Came through tripping.
Alright, so I shot this all with a automatic slider, the Rhino slider. It automatically went from point A to point B. I set everything out, had it all the way I wanted. I will post a little picture, behind the scenes picture here so you can check it out. Okay, so let's just review the clips quick. This is the first one. This is where I come in, unzip the bag, went back, turned the slider on, had it move, and then what I did was I replicated this for every single frame that I kind of wanted. So here's one with the camera out of the bag facing this way, did it again, turned the camera, did it again here, turned the camera again multiple times. Then I started bringing things out of the bag. So here you can see the first lens is out, second lens is out. I just did this over for every single item. Sent all this stuff to After Effects by going to File, Project Manager, and here Consolidate and Transcode. Did individual clips, so it exports everything as a separate clip. Clicked OK, went to where I want. Let's hop into After Effects. So what I did here was I kind of picked a spot, I lined everything up. So you can see here, I lined every clip up right here so that this crack went right here with this guide, this crack down here went right here with this guide. So I lined every clip up so that when they move over, they're all moving in the exact same spot. So all I had to do was go in here and decide when I wanted each of those clips to show up, kind of like stop motion animation, I guess, but with a moving video clip, which I've kind of always wanted to do. So you can see here what it looks like. So if we let it play, skips to the part where it moves over, goes to each of these objects. So that's the full playthrough on this guy, which is just like the basic animation, one direction. So I pre-composed those into this here, made this. What was bothering me was that for every time the scene switched, there was a different reflection in the camera here. You can see that. So I tracked on a little square object just to remove any changes of the reflection on the red there. Pre-composed this all, and I brought it into here where I wanted to warp it, so it kind of had that like sling through motion where it goes front to back. So I changed the speed. By doing that, I right click, go to time, and then enable timer mapping. You set a cue point at the start, set a cue point at the end. You can drag them around. I can do a video on that one day if you want. So you can see here, I sped this up just a little bit, and then it speeds up and kind of like slinks over to this side. Go in here in the graph editor, you can see how these are done. So I adjust these here to kind of change the speed and give it that like smooth to slow motion so that it's smooth, I guess. I don't really know, whatever. So this is the composition where I added in the glitches onto the objects as they come out of the bag. You can see here, for every object, there is a glitch inside the bag and a glitch outside the bag with a little bit of an overlap so that when the object comes out of the bag, it was still glitching kind of where it was. We did this for every single object, so we had to mask the object itself outside of the bag so that it can kind of contain the glitch on top of it, and then I also did a mask in the bag where it was to glitch just that area as well. For the object masking, I actually used the roto brush, and for the bag masking, I used the pen tool. The roto brush is great for masking when you have an object that's well defined and it doesn't have a whole lot of movement. It's probably the quickest and easiest way. So here's the composition where I did the roto brushing on the objects that come out. Let's skip over to where the camera comes out. We'll give a good example. Let's do where the red first comes out of the bag. So we'll find that frame. Control-Shift-D cuts it out. We'll go to the frame where we want to end, which for me is right before where it turns. So right there, Control-Shift-D, cut it out. We can get rid of this. Stretch this back out to its full length. Alright, so here's where we want to do the mask. So what I want to do here is, this is the piece we're going to be masking. So let's double click that so it opens up in the layer. Come up here, click on the roto brush tool, We're just going to go like this, get the layers, the spaces that we want, and it's going to do a pretty good job already, but we can go in and fine tune it just a little bit. For something like this, it probably doesn't matter too much. That's okay. Hold control, drag down, we'll change the size. We'll go through here like that. Just make sure we get the front edge here. See, we got too much. Hold Alt, go down, click to get rid of what we don't want. Go right here to get rid of some of that, and go right here to get rid of this. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So then what we want to do is we just want to change frames, go single frame at a time. So we just want to go to the next frame, so we'll go page down. Goes over, and it will automatically track. So we'll do it again. Goes over, go like that, and go like that. So that's all we have to do, and then this is automatically cut out. So if we go back to the main composition and we click here, we'll turn this guy off. You can see that this is what it looks like for these 3 frames, which for this, since it doesn't need to be super precise, it is perfectly okay. And then once I do that for every single object, I just add my glitch on top of this layer, and that's how we get to all of these. So once we do this for every single object, this is what it looks like when it comes out in the end. Okay, so now I'll show you how I mask the object inside the bag. We can leave this guy here since we know. Let's duplicate this. We can break this one up right here before there. We'll do a few frames before, maybe like right there. And what we want to do is we kind of want to have these overlap just a little bit. So let's go in here, we'll zoom in, bring this down. For masking on this, I just use the pen tool. So make sure your layer is selected, and then just draw a loose mask around the object that you want to mask. It's so quick, and the mask is messy anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter for this. So what it is here, we go here, click on M right here, opens up mask. Make sure you click this stopwatch here so that you save when you move your mask. Sometimes I forget to click that, I move the mask, and then I have to do it all over again. So what you can do for something simple like this, we're only doing a few frames again, is we could go over here and go to tracker. Make sure your mask is selected, click the next thing, it'll automatically track over with it and create those keyframes. So this is all I did to cut that out. Object. So if you have any masking questions, let me know. That's kind of how I did it. I used both pen tool masking and roto brush masking. I don't use roto brush masking all the time. It kind of just depends what I'm doing. I find that the edges get a little bit jumpy, which I don't like. So unless it's something that needs to be perfectly smooth, I'll use that if it's quick or whatever. Sometimes it's just faster, but I don't always do that. Okay, so here is the final composition I have where I made it actually loop. I actually took this, duplicated it, brought this in, reversed it. I was going to make it reverse first, which I ended up changing it later on in Premiere anyways. So I had it go backwards all the way back to the start, come over, and then spring back forwards all the way to the end. So I took this, put some color on top. I was working really fast on this to get it done, so I just tossed a LUT on, did a little bit of adjustments, and then exported that, sent it over to Premiere where I brought the song in and lined it all up. So here in Premiere, you can see I just chopped up each forward and back segment and kind of reversed them. So what I ended up doing was I ended up making the forward movement first anyways. And then we ended up with the final product. Drag a song on, made everything fit, made it all loop properly, and here we go.
Came through tripping, came through tripping, diamonds on my wrist, they tripping. Came through tripping, came through tripping, came through tripping, diamonds on my wrist, they tripping.